Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back and happy 2025. This isn't such a happy story, as you can see from the image of the Cybertruck blown up outside the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. I'm sure you've heard about this. I didn't want to make a video about this until I was more sure of the details. People speculate a lot about why it happened, if it just blew up or whether it was a bombing. We can say it was a bombing now. That's part of the details, the new details that have come out. We're going to go through that and how Elon Musk is reacting to this. There's somebody inside that Cybertruck. They blew it up, and with themselves in it, apparently they shot themselves before their truck blew up. There was a security video of the explosion, of the bombing as it happened.
Copy.
And there was another video from people inside the hotel. Now, this story from CNN not long ago, driver of Tesla Cybertruck that exploded at Trump Hotel in Las Vegas was an active duty Army Green Beret. So the driver's been identified as Matthew Allen Livelsberger, an active duty U.S. Army Green Beret, according to law enforcement source familiar with the investigation. Livelsberger was an Army Special Forces Operations Master Sergeant, a senior enlisted rank according to the 4 U.S. officials. He was on active duty in Germany with the 10th Special Forces Group, but was on leave at the time of the incident, 3 officials said. The identity of the man, it comes a day after the Cybertruck exploded outside the Trump Hotel, killing the driver and injuring 7 other people. A combination of fireworks, gas tanks, and camping fuel in the bed of the vehicle were detonated by a device controlled by the driver. So it says the FBI is investigating whether the explosion is tied to terrorism, and officials noted the implications of the Tesla vehicle and the hotel's namesake. So Elon Musk, Tesla, and Trump, there's been a lot of speculation about that, but the symbolism of this does seem important in this case. It's a Tesla truck, and we know that Elon Musk is working with President-elect Trump, stating the obvious, and it's the Trump Tower. So the sheriff of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said on Wednesday, so there's obviously things to be concerned about there, and that's something we are continuing to look at. It would seem like an obvious thing to investigate, and as I said, Elon Musk reacting to this. And also the explosion bore some general similarities to the vehicle attack in New Orleans earlier Wednesday, as both involved a symbolic target of New Year's Day, a truck rented through the website Turo, and a suspect with a military background. Authorities said they are investigating possible links between the 2 attacks, but repeatedly called the Vegas explosion an isolated incident. So we don't know that. It's speculation at this point. There'll be more details that come to light about that, if there are any to come to light. But at this point, there is no definitive link between the attack here in New Orleans and the one in Las Vegas, FBI Deputy Assistant Director Christopher Rea said on Thursday. And this headline from the Financial Times as well, New Orleans terror attack unrelated to Tesla blast, says FBI. Now, also this from NPR, Cybertruck driver had likely self-inflicted gunshot wound to head, sheriff says. He sustained a gunshot wound to the head prior to the Cybertruck detonating. Investigators believe it was self-inflicted. I don't know how they know it was prior to detonation, but I'm sure they do know these sort of things. That's their job. Now, officials found several items in the vehicle, including multiple firearms, fireworks, and military ID, an iPhone, and several credit cards. And this from the Daily Beast as well. The man suspected of being behind Tesla's Cybertruck explosion in Las Vegas was a big supporter of Donald Trump and voted for him in November. That's why we can't really speculate on the motive at this point. The revelation came from an interview between his loved ones and investigators, the source said. His family added that they believed the 37-year-old Green Beret had Republican leanings. It says the revelation tracks with old Facebook comments and what his uncle Dean told The Independent about his nephew's politics on Thursday. He loved Trump and he was always a very, very patriotic soldier, a patriotic American, Dean said. It's one of the reasons he was in special forces for so many years. Records in El Paso County, Colorado indicate that he registered in 2020 with the No Labels Party, which supports centrist common sense candidates, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported. The same email Livelsberger used to sign up for LinkedIn was listed in a data breach last year that revealed he had an account on the far-right news website, The Post Millennial. Now, as it states, and this is important, much remains unknown about what allegedly drove Livelsberger to rent a Cybertruck in his hometown of Colorado Springs and drive it to Trump's Las Vegas property. Now, this seems important too. The suspect was highly trained in communications and electronic measures for bomb detections and intelligence operations. But there remains no clear motive for the explosion, which some have speculated was meant to be a political statement against Trump and speculated against Elon Musk as well, being so close to the president, supporting the president. And many of my videos before this have talked about paying $277 million for the Trump campaign, rallying for him, and being a propagandist on X as well constantly. So these two things could be linked in that way. Using a Cybertruck seems relevant in this situation, but again, that's mere speculation. We don't have a motive at this point. It's important to note that. Now let's get to what Elon Musk has been saying about this. Of course, he's got an outlet X to talk about this as much as he wants. Now, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. It really does help. And do subscribe if you want to get more of this kind of content from me in the very near future. One of the first things he started talking about was the media's reaction to it. So this is from Robbie Starbuck. Honestly, Elon Musk should consider suing outlets who frame the story like this. These headlines are sabotaging Tesla's brand by making people think it caught on fire. And Elon Musk says maybe it's time to do so. And the headline for this was Tesla Cybertruck explosion in front of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas leaves one dead injured. And this was before we knew that it was a bombing, before we knew what the incident. So I guess that can be forgiven for really saying that because they really didn't know. Were they going to speculate that it was a terrorist attack or some sort of sabotage? Just didn't know that there. That's all they knew, and these outlets want to get a story out as soon as they can, obviously. Now, Tesla influencers were also talking about the Cybertruck, how it actually saved lives here because it was tough and it contained the blast. So the blast actually went down under the car and into the cabin of the car. The occupant was already dead at the time by these reports, but really it directed the blast not towards the hotel because of the stainless steel build. They were talking about the Cybertruck saving lives in this instance. Elon's decision to build the Cybertruck like a tank may have saved many lives in Vegas today. Imagine how much worse the explosion would have been for all those in the vicinity if it was any other vehicle. Elon said Cybertruck is the worst possible choice for a car bomb as its stainless steel armor will contain the blast better than any other commercial vehicle. But we also see in the explosion how the blast went into the cab. What I've mentioned before about the Cybertruck is that the unbreakable glass are very hard to break. If there's a fire in the truck and people are trapped inside, it seems really hard to get out to break that glass. In this instance, nobody really cared because the guy was trying to blow up the hotel and blow himself up. But that is a different situation when you have a fire in the vehicle and people are trying to get out. Elon also noted the battery pack never even caught fire and the tires are still inflated. Once we get the Cybertruck back to Tesla, we'll buff out the scratches and get it back on the road. So that's pretty bad joke, I think, and bad taste considering what happened here. And he also reposted this with the crying, laughing emoji. Tesla Cybertruck voted worst vehicle by National Association of Terrorist Car Bombers. Obviously because it helped to contain that blast. Really another bad taste joke aimed at bolstering the Tesla brand and Cybertruck brand under these circumstances. And the speculation from Colin Rugg, one of Elon's top buddies on X there that he reposts quite a lot. Just in, family of accused Trump hotel truck bomber Matthew Livelsberger says he was a big Trump supporter. questions the incident. Odd, Collins says. Matt was a very skilled warrior and he would have been able to make it if it was him, and if he did this, he would have been able to make a more sophisticated explosive than using propane tanks and camping fuel. Some of it doesn't make sense when he had the skills and ability to make something more, let's say, efficient. He's talking about the bomb here. His skills were enormous from when he had been taught in the military. He could have fashioned a bomb that would have obliterated half the hotel if he seriously wanted to hurt others. That's a speculation here. I mean, if the guy did this, he was most likely mentally ill. How could someone not be to do this unless they were highly politically motivated? But they said they loved Trump. He might have done it in a hurry and just got the materials together in a quick way rather than thinking about it, premeditating it for a long time. It said he was on leave from Germany for just 10 days. And in a reply, Adam Lowett said there must have been signs that he was going bonkers. Someone must have reported, and Elon says for sure. This always happens after these events. Did who notice what happened? And that will be investigated in the coming days and months, I'm sure, what the motive was and what happened to him. And Nick Sauter reported new Elon Musk has deployed a team from Tesla to attempt to recover in-cabin video footage from the Cybertruck per Las Vegas authorities. Once again, doing the FBI's job for them, he says. In-cabin video is not remotely accessible by Tesla without the owner specifically enabling data. This was a rented Cybertruck, remember? And Elon speculates here, and it is total speculation, someone or a group turned this guy into a suicide bomber. We need to find the source of the mind virus. Sort of really implying there that it's part of the woke mind virus. That's what he talks about. We just don't know a motive, and we don't know there was a group behind this, or that pointed him in this direction. We just don't know that. And Elon Musk reposted this. Good question. What's going on at Fort Bragg? The suspects in yesterday's attacks on Bourbon Street in New Orleans and Trump Tower in Las Vegas both served at Fort Bragg, the same military base Ryan Roth visited over 100 times before attempting to take Donald Trump's life. And then Elon was involved in this exchange. Randy Bolo says Fort Bragg has been a notorious breeding ground now for many years. Serious psychological problems, violent attacks, and many suicides. They must have a pretty toxic culture or bad luck. And Elon says there are obviously some bad seeds at Bragg. They need to be identified and removed. Something does seem important here, and I'm sure that will be investigated. Now, we've had multiple incidents of multiple people associated with that place, so we'll have to see what happens in the weeks and months to come. Now on screen, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put a link to a related video and also a subscribe link. Do subscribe if you want to get more of this content from me in the very near future. Thanks to everybody for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.